My Hebrew brothers and sisters, 12 tribes of Israel, scattered all over the globe. Welcome back. This is your Moreh Yeshua ben Uriah Israel, and it's just take this moment to thank you. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your comments. And we just pray that you'll continue to like and to make your comments as you subscribe, and ask your friends and loved ones to do the same. Today we want to talk a little bit about YAHSHUA'S visiting Caesarea Philippi and the purpose of his visit there. We know that Caesarea Philippi was right next door to Israel, to the Israelites. Well, it's Israel, but it was next door to the tribe. It was bordering the tribe of Dan, which was one of the northern tribes. Now, Yeshua was visiting that area. Could have been that he was, we're not sure, but it could have been that he was going towards the people of Dan, because Dan is considered one of the lost tribes, one of the 10 northern tribes, okay? And it could have been that, you know, when the land was allotted out, that Dan got that section that was kind of north of Israel, right at the bottom of Mount Hermon, which was very lush, very, very, very lush. But we know that based on the story, we are in Matthew chapter 16, verse 1, where he went, when Yeshua, came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi. We don't know if he went directly into Philippi, but it was in the coast. And on the coast there is the coast also for Dan. So it could have been that, because he did say he came but to the lost tribes of the house of Israel. And Dan was one of those tribes. All right. Now, Yeshua started to ask his disciples a question, and it was there he first revealed himself to them. Right? They asked, "Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" And they began to answer, that he was John the Baptist, that he was Elijah, that he was Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. And Yeshua asked, "But who do you say that I, the Son of Man, am?" And they said, "You are the Yeshua, the Son of the living Elohim." And he said, "Upon this rock I will build my church." Now, the word church here is the first time Yeshua is going to use that word. Okay? But he's not talking about the church that we see, the church buildings that we see around there. He's talking about building his congregation. Now, if you're going to bring his people back to himself, then his congregation is in gathering. Right? He's going to build in gathering his people. He's going to bring them back to himself. It's not just a church building that we're looking at. No, that wasn't it. And then when he said upon this rock, he wasn't talking about upon Peter. He was talking about upon the place where he was standing, because the place where he was there, where the disciples and Yeshua was rocky, very rocky. As a matter of fact, they built a temple for Herod the Great. Okay, Herod the Great, and a matter of fact, his son you know, the Philip also built he built the temple, right? But he built it in honor of his father and himself, okay? Naming from both Herod, you know, Caesar, you know, we get the word Caesarea from Caesar, okay? And then also of himself, because Herod the Great, he was worshipped, you know, as some kind of deity. There, so the people there. But the city of Caesarea Philippi, the place it was, the region was very wicked. It was mostly Gentile people living there. And they have all kinds of lifestyle going there. And I'm sure Yeshua wants his disciples to experience, you know, and I'm not sure, you know, what they learned there, because everything is not written down, you know, what went on. But we know that it was referred to as the gates of hell. You know, the place was referred to as the gates of hell, because the wickedness, I mean, that was going on there. And so at least the disciples, they got a chance to see some of that kind of life, you know, as they were there in Philippi, you know. So, but we don't know if that was the purpose of them just helping them to see that life, or was helping them to see where the people that they need to reach. Because remember, he said they should not go into the streets of the Gentiles, right? But they should go rather to the lost house, the lost tribe of the house of Israel. So we don't know there, but anyway, Yeshua began to tell him that, you know, okay, flesh and blood did not reveal it to him, but his Father, who is in heaven, revealed that he was the Messiah, the true promised Messiah. And he said, upon this rock I will build my congregation, I will build my church. And not like I said, not this church. The ecclesia, that's a Greek word for the church there, but, you know, there's a Hebrew word that connotates the ingathering, you know, so it's a gathering, the people gathering, okay? And so, but the Greek word for that word church, there was ecclesia. And anyway, and both of them, both the Hebrew and the Greek word, is bringing out an idea of a congregation, the people, you know, coming together, meeting together, right? And it was not necessarily just a building. Well, today the English version of the church is a building, right? But Yeshua was going to build his congregation. And he said, the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Okay? And to tell you how wicked the place was, it was, like they say, it was referred to as the city of hell, or the gates of hell. That's what Philippi was. And he said, the church that Yeshua was going to build, it was not the church that we see today. Because none of these people can say that the gates of hell are not prevailing against them, because some of the things that we see going on in the church, to the present day church, the so-called church, the things that are going on in there is just as insipid, and, you know, they try to do a little good, and the little good that they're trying to do cannot hold past the bad, the stuff that is going on in there. You see, a lot of filth, a lot of stuff going on which should not. If this was the church that Yahweh is talking about, and Yeshua is talking about, if this was the church, the present day church that we see, okay, and I'm talking about, I've seen the Baptist ones, I've seen Presbyterian ones, I've seen the Catholic ones, I've seen the Methodist ones, I've seen the Pentecostal ones, you know, the Seventh-day Adventist ones, Seventh-day Church of God ones. I've seen them. I've seen them. And it's nothing but the devil work is going on. And no care how they try to cover it up and try to dress it up and try to make it look good, it still does not have the power that Yahweh and that Yahshua was saying here. That, listen, he said, the church that Yeshua was going to build, he said the gates of hell, nothing could come against it. Nothing could stand against it. Yeshua's church, you know, Yeshua's congregation, the one that he's building, is not these flimsy ones that we see around us. Okay? Because anything goes. And everything, especially when it comes to money and politics. Yeshua was not building a church that deals with money grabbers and politics and rapists and child molesters and all those things that we see happening in today's church. If I was not a Hebrew person, man, right? I would not let my child go to one of these churches without me, based on the practices of what's going on now. I would never let my child, neither my boy, my son, nor my daughter, would not go to one of these churches without me being there. I would not let them go on a church trip without me being there, based on what I see going on in these churches. So this is not the church that Yeshua was talking about. He's talking about something far different. He said, the gates of hell. What was going on in Caesarea Philippi? What's going on in the world? What we are doing in trying to bring the Hebrew Israelite people back into relationship with Yeshua. And listen what? Based on what he said, if we follow his footsteps, if we follow his guidance, my brothers and my sisters, he said, that will never happen. Gates of hell. No power of hell can come against him. And they can try, but they will never prevail. They will never prevail. He said, the gates of hell will not overtake Yeshua's church, the one that he builds. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. In John chapter 14, verses 1 through 6, he talked about, he said, and he's going to prepare a place for us. And he's coming back to receive us, that where he is, there we may be also. He is the way, he is the truth, and he is the life. The church that he's building, my brothers and my sisters, is not going to be overrun by the devil. It's not going to, like they talk about the gates of hell. Caesarea Philippi, in the coast where he was there, right next door to Dan. Right? Just right next door to Dan. Where the pan god and, you know, and Banias and Panias, you know, these were names given there, okay, to the temple that was built for Caesar Augustus, Caesar the Great, and his Philip and the Tetrarch and all them. Look here, they were worshiping idols. There was an idol worship area, and Yeshua know that was serious. It was a serious thing. And so when his disciples told him, when Peter said, "You are the Son of the living Elohim," he said, that Peter just made a testimony, a statement there. He said, upon this rock, the rock that we're standing on right now, he's going to establish his church. My brothers, my time is gone. But I want to ask you today to be a blessing to someone and walk with the King. Shalom.